Hello guys, I am Racing TV, and let's get started with the 32nd car tournament day 2. And Caden H has chosen the McLaren Speedtail, and Vince has chosen F-150, and Aiden has chosen Rip Rod. Next up is Colt in the Volkswagen Custom, and Carboy0528 has chosen Clear Speeder, and I have chosen the 69 Chevelle. First up is Vincent in the F-150 versus Trackmania. And Vincent will be moving on. Next up is Andrew in the Aston Martin versus Monoracer. And Monoracer will be moving on. Next up is Street Creeper versus Rally Special. And Street Creeper is eliminated. Next up is Twin Mill versus Hyper Rocker. And Twin Mill will be moving on. Next up is Diora 2 versus Baseline. And Baseline will be moving on. Next up is the Chrysler Pacifica 300 versus the Alfa Romeo. And the Chrysler Pacifica will be moving on. Next up is Hoverstorm versus Carboy0528's pick. Clear Speeder, my bad. And Clear Speeder is moving on. Next up is Mad Manga versus RDO08. And RDO08 will be moving on. Next up is Crescendo versus Colt Volt VW Custom. And the VW Custom is flying to the next round. Next up is Aiden in the Rip Rod versus Diora 3. And Diora 3 will be moving on. Next up, Good Humor Truck versus Sushi Turner. Good Humor Truck is being eliminated. Next up is Caden H in the Speedtail, who was our last winner with the McLaren W1. Versus Donut Drifter. And Donut Drifter will be moving on. Next up is Matchbox 2018 Nissan Leaf versus Hot Wheels Rifter. Next up and moving on is Rifter. Next up is a Ferrari versus Hot Wired. And a Ferrari will be moving on. Next up is my pick in the 69 Chevelle versus Renane Rig. And Renane Rig will be taking out my pick, the 69 Chevelle. Next up is the Nissan Hardy Boy versus the Chevrolet Corvette. And the Chevrolet Corvette will be moving on. Here are all the cars that have moved on so far, and only 3 chosen picks have moved on. So let's get started with the round 2. Next up is Vincent in the Ford F-150 versus the Monoracer in round 2. And Vincent will be moving on. Next up is Rally Special versus Twin Mill. And Rally Special will be moving on. Next up is the Chrysler 300, not the Chrysler Pacifica, versus Baseline. And the Chrysler 300 will be moving on. Next up is RDO08 versus Carboy0528's Clear Speeder. And Clear Speeder is clearly the winner. Next up is Colt in the VW Custom versus Diora 3. And Colt will be moving on. Sushi Turner versus Donut Drifter. And Sushi Turner will be moving on. Ferrari versus Renovated. And Renovated is moving on. Next up is Renane Rig versus the Chevrolet Corvette. And Renane Rig is moving on. And in the last wave, we only had 3 picks, and all 3, Vincent in the Ford F-150, Carboy0528 in Clear Speeder, and Colt in the Volkswagen Custom. And the funny thing is, this dude is now in his third round. Wow. First on the third round is Vincent in the Ford F-150 versus Rally Special. And the Ford F-150 scraping by and going to the semifinals. Next up is the Chrysler 300 versus Carboy0528's Clear Speeder. And the Chrysler 300 is moving on. Next up is Colt in the Volkswagen Custom versus Sushi Turner. And Colt barely moving on. Next up, Rifted versus the Renane Rig. Reround. And a Renane Rig is moving on. Here's the semifinals. Here are the 2 picks that have survived. Colt in the VW Custom versus Vincent in the Ford F-150, just like the very first day one. But it was the Ford Flybird versus the Chevrolet Corvette, but the off-branded Ford Flybird beat the Corvette 2-0. And then over here, the non-chosen, the Chrysler 300. I really do apologize for calling it the Pacifica, and renovated. So it'll be renovated versus Colt in the VW Custom, Vincent in the F-150 versus the Chrysler 300. 3, 2, 1. And Colt is going to the finals yet again. And who is going to win against these two? Vincent, the Ford F-150, or the Chrysler 300? And who will they be going up against in the finals? Final match in the semifinals. 3, 2, 1. And the Chrysler Pacifica is moving on. Here are the two finalists. A newbie versus the dude who could barely make it finally makes it. In his history, he has finally made it to the finals, and it took him probably, this is his 4th try. This is a brand new one for the Chrysler 300. 2 rounds. If they both tie with 1, ultimate death round. Round 1, in the far lane is the Chrysler 300, and in the closer lane is Colt in the VW Custom. And Colt will be taking point 1. Round 2, 3, 2, 1. And the Chrysler Pacifica will be taking that point. Round 3, 3, 2, 1. And our winner is... The winner is the Chrysler 300. Chosen by nobody. So, in that case of rules, in this league, I can't choose a car in the next tournament. Colt was very close. The VW Custom was highly close. But yet, as usual, he is done. So congratulations to nobody for choosing the Chrysler 300. Anyway, stay tuned for the next race and enjoy.